This is Safely Back to School on Coastal Living.
With me today is Superintendent of CCISD, Mr. Roland Hernandez. He is not only the Region Superintendent of the Year, but he is the incoming president of the Texas School Alliance. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, what are some key changes that we will be seeing in the upcoming school year?
Well, when people think of what we're dealing with in this pandemic, the first thing they think about is how it surprised us in March, in spring break. So everyone leaves school for spring break, we come back, and the next thing you know, no one realized that was the last time we were going to be in schools. So no farewells, no goodbyes. We did everything we could to help our kids have graduations, and it just was taken a lot from many people and many positions, teachers included. So it's easy for them to think that we're going to have that same approach that we did in the spring, starting with school. And what I would tell you is that that's not going to be the case at all. And you're probably not going to find that anywhere you go, because it's given us a lot more time for planning. We learned a lot during the spring semester, and we're in a much better position now moving forward. So the school year is going to look very different in the fact that as a district, as well as many other districts, they'll be providing face-to-face instruction for the families who want to bring their kids back. And then families also have the option to keep their students at home and do remote learning. In either case, as far as CCISD goes, whatever our students are learning in the schools with face-to-face teaching will be the same exact curriculum and instruction that they'll be receiving remotely at home from their teachers. And so that'll take some adjusting, but we have some really good training sessions in place to help our families as well as help our teachers, and then building the systems to support them throughout the year.
Fantastic. Well, it goes without saying that everyone has pretty diverse opinions about returning to school physically and remaining digital. So it's great to know that we have those options. One thing that I can see as a positive is, as a society, we're already moving in this very technological way. So I think that being forced into this situation is only helping us and helping our students for the future and for their future places of employment. So tell me, how are the schools and the teachers adapting to this change? I know they've had a lot of time to plan out the school year. They had the whole summer, but it's got to be a lot different for them.
Well, every year that we've been in school, you have those, like you said, who feel more comfortable with it, and then those that not so much. Mm-hmm. What this has done is it has really raised the level of knowledge and application for all of our employees, from district administrators to campus administrators to all of our teachers and support staff, as well as our students who maybe weren't into it as much. We work hard to keep them current on technology, and we focus on that more and more every year, but this one really brought everybody up to a much higher level. The learning curve was there, but like you said, we are in a much better position today than we were at this time in the spring, and have really been quite amazed at how well everyone is doing, learning so much, doing new things with technology, and to some degree, when you stop and think what engages our students when they're outside of school, whether they're playing video games or academic games, their minds are, kind of tuned in to all of this technology. Mm-hmm. So the fact that a lot of their instruction is going to have to be very interactive with their teachers, it's, I think, going to help keep them more engaged, and that's going to be better for everyone.
Now, for some of us that are a little more old school and went to school with actual books and book covers and things like that, some of us parents are pretty intimidated by this upcoming school year, especially for classes that we didn't really thrive in our school days. So what do parents need to know about their children's education, and what resources will be available to us to help us provide the best education for our kids?
Well, what I would want our parents to know is that is okay to feel that way. There are many that feel that way. Technology can be a little intimidating. We are going to work extremely hard to help make them feel comfortable with what we're providing with our programs across CCISD. We will have some parent training sessions to where they can see these how-to videos. We will have some help desk open lines to call if they need help. They're going to find out that their students and kids know a lot of this already, who might even be able to help walk them through some things. But it's okay. And I think sometimes when something is new, the feeling of being overwhelmed can overtake us. But the patience, which they have really demonstrated during this time, our community has been very supportive. They've been patient. They've waited for us to put our plan together. And now that we have, of course, we're going to continue to get questions, but I encourage them to send the questions in, let us get the answers, and then we'll share them with our community.
I'm curious, what exactly is the Texas School Alliance?
The Texas School Alliance is an association out of Austin. It's an organization that has about 40 of the largest districts in the state. The school districts a voice at the table during the legislative sessions. We have an opportunity to visit with very important key stakeholders in Austin, as well as the leaders of all these districts. So we get to hear what their challenges are. We get to share what ours are, not just in our school districts, but in our areas as well. And then make sure that we're putting things in place to fight for what we can in providing the best quality for our kids.
So before we go, what message would you like to leave with our parents or students that may be watching?
I think the most important message is, one, to let them know that we are very excited about starting the school year with their children and welcoming them back as well. We're going to do everything we can to provide a quality education, whether they choose to send their kids to face-to-face instruction or choose the remote learning. We're going to learn together as we go, and we're going to provide the most support that we can possible. There are going to be questions, and that's okay. There may be a little intimidation and fear, but that's what we're here for. Never to hesitate to send us an email or a phone call. Whatever we can do to help them be successful with their children is what we're here for.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Hernandez, for making yourself available to provide this information to our friends at home. We're looking forward to the school year. Guys, if you're watching, we can do this. We're going to get through it together. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.